This is super obvious, I know it, but Patrick Mahomes is not playing good football. And how about them Bengals? Yeah, there's some other stuff happened. That's really all I have to say.
Youngway Koo for the Falcon victory, and he nailed it.
Mahomes. Protection initially. Mahomes broke down. And the ball came out. Titans have it. David Long on the recovery. And Mahomes slow to get up.
25-yard line on 1st and 10. They swing it to Bourne. This is a pass. Bourne! He's got Aguilar! Touchdown! Evans. 600 it is.
Oh, that was the 600. NFL right now just throws a pretty football.
Wide open, he hit Zach Ertz. Ertz, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Arizona.
4th and goal from the 1-yard line. As Carr throws to the end zone. Touchdown. Right.
Hit as he throws for the end zone. Intercepted. Jalen Ramsey with the pick at the goal line. Ramsey.
Off the play action, Darnold looking deep, bad throw, intercepted. James
Stand right here. Rodgers looks to throw. Scrambles to his right. He pumps. He throws back against the grain. Adams is in. One play. Rodgers. A lot of noise. Good blocking on the screws. Chase. Found the. Oh, there he goes. He had him in a blender and he's off to the races. This will be 6. What a play. 82 yards. Niners bring pressure. Wentz escaping. Bosich chases him down and almost picked by Mosley.
Sir, what are you thinking? I mean, thank y'all. Come again.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun NFL. We got the Week 7 recap. Let's see. 11 games to do. This should be fun. There's some games that I really want to talk about, like the one we're on right now. Others that are kind of pretty simple to talk about. Either way, let's get right into it. First game we're going to do is the Chiefs versus the Titans. This game, straight up, was an absolute bloodbath. Pounding. A really bad game. The Chiefs, they just didn't come to play. No one tried at all. Yeah, I'll put it like that. They did not look good. The Titans looked honestly a little shocked. I don't care. People were like, whoa, whoa, whoa. The Titans played good football. Yeah, they did. But I'm putting it straightforward. The Chiefs played absolutely terrible. Their offense, as you can see, Mahomes was very bad. He had the worst game of his career by far, 20 of 35, 206 yards, interception. I'm not overreacting. He looked terrible. He's not playing good football at all. He is the most talented quarterback in the NFL, but he's not playing like it. Happens too much. He's trying to do too much. He just needs to take a check down. If they can play methodical football, they will win games. Pretty simple. I said for them, though, take advantage of the Titans' defensive injuries. Yeah, they didn't do that because no one was trying. Really, it was really bad. no turnovers. They turned over the ball 3 times, all by Mahomes. They were playing too high. They just didn't give him anything deep, and the Chiefs couldn't do anything. I don't know what happened. I've watched the film twice. I found a couple things, minor things, but it was just a struggle. And I mean by taking, not take shots, but they could have ran the ball. If they ran the ball, it wouldn't have been this bad of a game, 27-3. The Chiefs are just not a good team right now. Right now, they're playing, absolutely awful. Their offense definitely gets a minus. They put up 3 points. Chad Henne was good because he was checking down. He did what he was supposed to. Not what Mahomes was doing. Yeah, no one was good. Kelsey didn't even have that great of a game. But defensively, they played bad too. They were pretty physical, but the Titans just knew what they were supposed to do. The Titans' offense, they're getting a plus. Yeah, they didn't run the ball great. Their offensive line was a little banged up. But they just threw the ball like they were supposed to. Ryan Tannehill, yeah, he threw a pick because he's not going to be perfect, but they looked really good. You see Henry only averaged 3 yards per carry. They weren't trying to get these big chunks. I'm not kidding. At the end of the third quarter, Henry, yeah, he was running it, but he was going down. He let them tackle him. They knew, yeah, we're just going to melt the clock down. A.J. Brown had a huge game. They were getting the ball around the field. Yeah, they weren't perfect at all. Their defense was amazing, though. They did what they were, their defense, well, I won't say they're amazing. The Chiefs are pathetic. The Titans didn't even play a great game offensively. I'm not giving them a minus because they absolutely dominated them on the offensive front at times. I'm not going to give them an underscore because an underscore is okay. They didn't play great. They didn't play a great game. I got to admit that. But they had so much possession time that they're going to get the plus. That's one of the reasons. But defensively, they get a plus because it didn't even look good. They got 4 sacks and a pick. A lot of fumbles. It was just pathetic. It was more the Chiefs playing awful than, yeah. You know what? Titans offense doesn't get a plus. They did not play great. Their defense played if you go 3 points, you're going to get a plus unless you're playing a terrible team. Chiefs looked pathetic, and as a result, they got absolutely whooped. So yeah, the Chiefs played absolutely terrible, and as a result, they got whooped by a team that just played better. Are they a better team? Good chance they're not, but they played better. Okay, next game is Washington Packers. It's gonna be quick. Washington lost. They're a dumpster fire. Packers are now 6-1 in the season. Final score is 24-10. Wasn't really competitive the whole game. The Washington football team had 2 turnovers in the red zone, and they didn't score a point in the red zone the whole game. 0 for 5. It was really bad. Their offense was not good. Run the ball, control the clock. They actually didn't really run the ball that great. Yeah, Taylor Heineke had a good game. No, they didn't run the ball good. They did not control the clock. I have to give them a minus. They didn't move the ball, but you got to score in the red zone. If they scored at least 1 touchdown in the red zone, I would have given them a plus, but they didn't, so they're getting a minus. Defensively, they didn't even play that bad. There wasn't any huge plays given up. They got 3 sacks, no turnovers. I'll give them an underscore. They didn't play bad football. Yeah, they weren't great, but they were playing a really good offense. But I'm not giving them a minus. They didn't play terrible football. For the Packers, Aaron Rodgers had a really good game. 27 of 35, 274 yards, 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones just couldn't get the run game going. Devontae Adams had not a great game for his standards, but he still had a good game. Allen Lazard had a really good game for his standards, and Robert Tonyan had his average game. So you know what? Do they deserve a plus? I'll give them an underscore. They played okay, I'd say. Rodgers didn't play terrible, but they weren't able to really run the ball, so that doesn't help. I said run the ball, and then they just didn't really run the ball well, so I have to give them the underscore, but they didn't play bad. Defensively, they had 4 sacks and a pick. They're getting a plus. That was definitely by far their best game of the season so far. So yeah, good job for the Packers defense, their offense. I would say that the Washington defense stepped it up a little from a couple weeks ago, so as a result, they didn't play as well, but still, the Packers did not play a terrible game offensively. Next game was a shocker. Bengals absolutely mauled the Ravens. It's not an absolute shocker, And look at the talent between the two teams. They're pretty even. The Bengals, honestly, are way healthier. I said in the preview, don't be shocked if the Bengals win this game. I wouldn't say it was such a big blowout. I thought it could happen. I'm like, who knows? It could happen. But I was not shocked when this happened. I'm not kidding. For the Ravens, though, they're going to lose games. It's kind of simple. They're not as talented as some of these other teams. Yeah, they are a really good team, but they just don't have the players to be able to keep up with some of these teams. Not just that, but also their secondary is really banged up, and as a result, they did not play good football. Offense gets a plus for the Bengals. They did run the ball like 5-6 times. They ran all over them. They ran all over the Ravens. The Ravens' run defense didn't look good, probably because they had a couple linebackers out. And as a result, they stunk it up. Bengals defense stopped the run and contain Jackson so that he has to throw. He did have to throw. I wouldn't say he was terrible, but they did get 5 sacks. So I'll give them a plus. Like, they weren't absolutely amazing, but they were good enough, and they definitely played a really good, very good game. Ravens, like Lamar just wasn't very efficient. Like 15 of 31, 57 yards, touchdown. He wasn't taking a ton of shots. He was checking down a lot, but they really came in and played good football. Like, they didn't run the ball either. It just was really bad. Lamar, yeah, he ran for 88 yards, but it wasn't a good game. Other than the touchdown by Marquise Brown and the couple big catches by Rashad Bateman, it really wasn't a good offensive week. I'm giving them a minus, and I'll give them an underscore because they played a lot better than the Chiefs did. Yeah, and if you didn't know, the Bengals defense is a lot better than the Chiefs defense. Ravens, I didn't like their approach. I just wish they ran the ball more. Like, Lamar actually knows what he's doing when he's throwing. He's not taking a ton of deep shots. He did when they were there. I like that he did that. It's just sad to see that the teams like the Chiefs rely on that type of stuff. And no offense to Carson Wentz, but Carson Wentz was broken last year. Mahomes is not broken. He's just set on one play and he's getting them all set. So he is kind of playing like Carson Wentz, except Carson Wentz is playing hero ball. He wasn't trying to look for the big plays. More of that trying to keep the play alive and get first downs. And it didn't work. It was sad. And he knew his limitations, but he just kept going. Ravens defense, they played absolutely awful. Like, their offense didn't play good by any means. It didn't help they gave up 41 points and over 400 yards. Well, yeah, they gave up 400 yards in the air. They gave up 111 yards on the ground. Yeah, they gave over 500 total yards. That's just not, you can't cut it in this league. So, yeah, they're getting a minus. Definitely the worst game of the season. Yeah, sometimes you do play bad against good teams. Like, it's just how it works. Next game is the Giants-Panthers. Panthers have collapsed. I'll just put it that way. The Broncos, I'm not surprised they collapsed because they were not a very strong 3-0 team when they were 3-0. I think the Panthers were, but I'm not surprised they're 3-4 because they do it all the time. Their quarterbacks looks really good for a certain number of weeks. Like it happened last year. They were 0-2. They won 3 straight. Teddy Bridgewater looked absolutely phenomenal. Then he stunk it up for 5 games, and they didn't end up good. Panthers have lost 4 straight, so yeah, they lost 25-3 to a team that was worse than them, if you ask me. The Giants absolutely just played a better football. Sam Darnold was absolutely horrific. Yeah, he was. I wouldn't say like the receivers were open. He was just missing a lot of throws. It wasn't the reads; it was the throws that were bad. He was really inaccurate. He threw a bad pick. Philip Walker was absolutely horrific. He was missing reads, not throws. They didn't run the ball. DJ Moore actually had a good game. He was getting open. Robbie Anderson had 2 plays that would have been touchdowns if Sam Darnold had connected, but he missed them. As a result, I'm giving them a minus. I don't really know what else to say but the fact that their offense has been terrible for the past 4 weeks. Yeah, a couple games they haven't been absolutely like shut down, but they just have not been good. Either way, for the Panthers defense, like I wouldn't say they played a terrible game. Like they got 2 sacks, they got pressure, they were keeping the team in the game, but stop the run. They did stop the run. Pressure Jones. They didn't really do that a ton, and they did get up some yards at the end. I'll give them an underscore though. 25 points isn't horrific, and the Giants' offense was actually playing good football. The Giants are in the team. I'm like, they have a bad offense, but 25 points is not terrible given up to the Giants. The Panthers' defense didn't play that bad. Daniel Jones had a pretty average game, 23 of 33, 203 yards, touchdown. A lot of short passes. I really like what they're trying to do. Like, keep it simple for him. He's not a great quarterback. They didn't really run the ball efficiently, but they did have one big play, which was really good for them. So that's good. Throw the ball quickly. They had a lot of quick passes, a lot of short passes. I like how they played. I'll give them a plus. Mistake-free football really helped. Yeah, they were having King having to kick a lot of field goals, but I was definitely happy. I was just definitely happy they were avoiding turnovers. And then defensively, they had, let's see, 1.5, 2.5. That is 3. That is 4 sacks, 5, 6. They had 6 sacks and a pick. They get a plus. That's the best defensive performance I've seen out of the Giants in a long time. It hasn't even been close. They were absolutely phenomenal. So their defense gets a plus. Giants played a pretty good game. If they beat the Chiefs on Monday night, I'll be really happy because Chiefs don't really deserve to win any more games the way they're playing right now. Falcons, Dolphins. The Dolphins are absolutely terrible. They are really bad. They've lost 6 straight. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Yeah, I'll put it out there. If they lose next week to who are they playing? Whatever. If they lose next week, I will call them a bottom 5 team. They already are a bottom 5 team. Falcons, they are not a 3-3 team. They are a D team, but they are 3-3, so I can't call them absolutely terrible. They've beaten 3 really bad teams. They won 30-28 though. Matt Ryan again had a good game. Yeah, pick, but their offense played good. I said run the ball and then throw to Pitts and Ridley. Calvin Ridley wasn't really involved this time. He did have a touchdown. Kyle Pitts is a monster. They ran the ball pretty good though with Cordell Patterson. He was running for a lot of yards. He was chewing up clock. Really good game for him. I'll give their offense a plus. They play good football. If they can do this every week, the Falcons are not going to be an easy team to beat for any good team at least. But even for the Falcons defense, they didn't play great, but they got a pick. They got a sack. They got 2 picks. They got a sack. They weren't awful. I didn't really watch this game. I did watch some of the film for Tua, but that was really it. I can't say they played bad because they just didn't play great. I'd put it that way. They just didn't give up any huge yardage plays, which I really liked. They held in the end, and it was really good. Either way, for Tua in the offense, I said get a 2-score lead, control the clock. They did get a 1-score lead, but they did not control the clock. Miles Gaskin ran the ball pretty well. Tua had one huge run for them. It was 15 yards. It wasn't a bad game offensively. 28 points isn't really good. Tua had 2 bad interceptions though. Wasn't absolutely he was pretty accurate other than the 2 picks, but threw 4 touchdowns. I wouldn't really say he had a bad game. I'll give him an underscore, but they just got to play better defense. But I said for the defense, their defense wasn't good. Yeah, they got a sack and a pick, but that was really it. Like I said, I didn't really watch him, but Javon Holland was the only one I saw really make any big plays that wowed me. They didn't give a boatload of yardage. They just didn't play good football. I'll give them an underscore. I'm gonna give them no. Do they deserve a minus? Really? Yeah, they do. They didn't give up a boatload of yardage, but they did give up 30 points. You never can give up 30 points and have a good week defensively, unless you were depends on what offense you're playing. Okay, this game's really close. The final score was this game was gonna be really quick. Final score was 54-13. Pretty simple. Once Zach Wilson got hurt, the game got out of hand. The Patriots won because they were a better team. The stats really aren't that impressive, other than the fact that Mac Jones had his first 300-yard passing game. Other than that, though, nothing really happened. The Chiefs are now the Patriots are now 3-4, and aren't looking absolutely that putrid. So that's good. Jets fall to 1-5. Any Jets fan, just so you know, you guys stink. So just accept it, please. Either way, next game, Raiders Eagles. This game was not really that close at all. The whole game. It was 14-0, I think, and then it just got absolutely out of hand. The Eagles lost because they just weren't the Raiders were a better team. Like I said, Raiders are gonna be a good team this year. They're not gonna be a great team. They're probably gonna lose in the first round if they make the playoffs. But they showed this year we're not an average team. We're gonna be a good team. They're 5-2. Eagles are 2-5 though. They're not looking very good like we expected, but playing better than some people expected, like me. I said for the Eagles offense, run the ball with Miles Sanders. 6 carries. Yeah, I get you're down. 6 carries. I'm going to say this one more time. The Eagles need to run the ball with him. Jalen Hurts did not make a ton of throws. He did not play a bad game. Just didn't play a very good game. Like, a lot of incompletions. I'm giving them an underscore. They should get a minus for how bad they played, kind of like last week. But Jalen Hurts had a much better game. Yeah, Dallas Goedert had a couple of huge catches. Devontae Smith's still really consistent. Defensively, though, they played absolutely awful. Yeah, you said that elite pass defense. They were not elite at all. 2 high safeties, no. Stop the run, no. They were bad, really bad. They get a minus. They just didn't play good football. Hey, the Raiders, though. Viva Las Vegas. Pretty good. Like, Derek Carr, you can't get any better than this. 31 of 34, 323 yards, 2 touchdown pick. Take the pick away at a perfect passer rating, which is really good. So, yeah, he completed 91.2% of his passes. If you didn't know, that's the, what was it, second most all-time for a quarterback over 30 pass attempts. Minshew, over the past 3 years, there's been the 3 best passing performances I've seen in terms of accuracy. Was this one. Derek Carr had a pick, but that shouldn't have been a pick. Last year with Gardner Minshew, week 1, he had 95% completion. He was 24 of 25. It was pretty, or what was he? Was it 30 pounds? Whatever. Let me think. Yeah, 24 of 25. He had like 96% completion, something crazy like that. And then, who else was it? He had 95% completion. And then there was, not Derek, then there was, Drew Brees. He had 97 point something against the Colts, Week 15, Monday Night Football 2019. Whatever. Those are the 3 best passing performances. Maybe Jared Goff's game in 2018 was really good, too. Either way. Yeah, Derek Carr was phenomenal. Yeah, discard the pick. Josh Jacobs, Kenyon Drake was the main guy. Josh Jacobs wasn't exactly healthy. Mariota had a run. I remember seeing that. That was just in a random thing of clips, but it was cool. I'm going to give them a plus. They played really good football. If they play like that every week, it's going to be fun to watch. Defensively, yeah, they weren't perfect. They got 2 sacks, but they did give up some yardage. I'll give them an underscore. They gave 22 points. Like, it wasn't bad. It was totally not bad, but I don't know. It just didn't feel like they were that great. The Eagles were able to move the ball pretty well, so I'll give them that. And then now we go to the Rams-Lions game. I'm not going to talk about the rematch between Jared Goff and Matt Stafford. Big storyline. Yeah, the Rams are 6-1. They won 28-19. Lions are 0-7. Lions put up a big fight. They're good. They get so close to winning. They just haven't been able to win. But Jared Goff wasn't terrible. 22 of 36, 268 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. 2 picks came in the final crunch time. One of them was on a drop ball by DeAndre Swift. The other one was a bad throw by Goff as he was getting mauled by Aaron Donald. Either way, yeah, Jared Goff put up a fight. They just weren't the better team. I wasn't worried the whole game. So any Rams fan, yeah, I wasn't worried the whole game. I was watching it, wasn't worried the whole game. I know it sounds kind of weird, like I was really mad that they had the 3 special teams played. I was just really mad. Put it simply, I was not happy they had those plays. Just made me mad, but it didn't really matter because I wasn't that concerned. We ended up winning, so 28-19. Rams go to 6-1. Lions are 0-7. Lions, they didn't play a bad game. I'm not going to give them a plus, but I'll give them an underscore. They ran the ball really well, as you can see. Like, DeAndre Swift wasn't that good, but Jamal Williams had some big runs. Their defense, Chris Moore, CJ Moore, their special teamer, had a big run on a fake play, but whatever. Khalif Raymond had a really good game. DeAndre Swift had a touchdown. T.J. Hawkins is the top 5 tight end. I got to experience that for once, watch him live. Even though the Lions defense pressure got Stafford to play physical, they were pretty physical. They got a sack. It's really hard to play that good against the Rams offense, but I'll give them an underscore. They held them to 28 points. They played good football. It's just they weren't awesome. It's really hard to play good against the Rams. Either way, Stafford was 28 of 41, 335 4 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was almost perfect. Cooper Kupp had a huge game. Darrell Henderson didn't really run the ball that efficient, but he got yardage when the Rams needed it. I'm gonna give the Rams offense a plus. Was it great? No, it just they weren't really that bad at all the whole game. There was no like, oh my gosh, how did that happen type of play. They played good football. It looked really good. Rams defense on the other hand, they got 2 sacks. They got 2 sacks, 2 picks. They were really good in the red zone, but they were just giving up a lot of yardage to a team they can't give up that type of yardage to. If they do that to the Titans, they're gonna give up 45 points. No offense, But the Rams' defense wasn't amazing. They're going to have to play better against teams like the Titans. They're going to get an underscore. Their defense just didn't look as good as I hoped it would. It kind of looked like the Jets last year, except the Jets couldn't run the ball as well. So basically, if the Rams can improve on some of the things defensively, I think they'll have a good shot at beating better teams. Either way, next game we have Bears-Bucks. This game I'm going to go through really quick. Tom Brady was just a better quarterback, and as a result, they ended up winning. Justin Fields sucked. He threw a lot of short passes, no shots at all. He was really sad. He did not take any shots. As a result, they ended up losing. Khalil Herbert is a really good back. He was really efficient. Shane didn't run the ball as much. But like the 3 picks were just awful passes by Justin Fields. I'm putting it on him. Like he wasn't like you look at the numbers. They're not very good, but he was really conservative. I'm giving them a minus. They put up 3 points. Like Bucks defense is really banged up. Got to put up more than 3 points. Bears defense, they get a minus. They did nothing like the Rams did in week 3. They did give him some yardage, but it did not look good. They didn't do anything. It was sad. For the Bucks, Tom Brady, yeah, he didn't really didn't have to do much. He wasn't perfect. He threw 4 touchdowns though. Leonard Fournette was absolutely very efficient. They get a plus. Their defense gets a plus. That banged up against an offense that should have scored points on you was pretty good. Yeah, they were not starters. They got, let's see, 4 sacks. I'm calling that good. One more game to go. Texans, Cardinals. This final score of this one was 31-5. This game was weird. Cardinals are 7-0. They're getting ready for the biggest game of the season for them. Wasn't a trap game. They were down 5-0 though, so yeah. Texans put up a fight until like the first quarter they played good, then they just stunk it up. They ran the ball like literally none. Run the ball, score in the red zone. They had 1 red zone opportunity. They kicked the field goal. No wait, I think they got turnover on downs. They ran the ball they didn't run the ball at all. It was really bad. They're getting a minus. They just didn't play good at all. They have no talent, so I guess I'll give them that too. But man, it did not look good. The defense had 4 sacks and a pick. I'll give them an underscore. They just gave up a lot of yardage, but man, if their offense played better, I don't think they would have been that bad. 31 points to the Cardinals isn't bad with that least talent. It could have been a lot worse. I'll give them that. Kyler in the offense wasn't that great in the first quarter. He threw a bad interception, took some bad sacks. They just ran the ball really well. Kyler after that was really good though. 20 of 28, 261 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kyler didn't really run the ball either. They kind of contained that, which is kind of crazy. Everyone really got like a solid game. There were 1, 2, 3, 4 guys who had solid games. So I'll give their offense a plus. Like I know it was against them, but they weren't that bad. They really weren't. The Cardinals defense gets a plus. Like they were absolutely phenomenal. They had 2 sacks. I get it was against the Texans, but what else do you expect from me? They gave up 5 points. Like I can't give them anything else. They're getting a plus. Either way, last game we're doing Sunday Night Football. This game, only got to watch half of the game on film. I watched about 10% of the Niners defense because I was really focusing on Carson Wentz. His footwork, not gonna lie, is not great. It's not bad. It's gotten a lot better since last year, but still not great. Oh yeah, his interception was not an interception, a fumble, and the game was in the rain. Jonathan Taylor was a beast. 17 of 26 to 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's had a bad, worst play of the season probably by far this whole season. He literally walked the ball. It wasn't an interception because he did fumble it. Just a stupid decision on his part. I'm going to keep making fun of him for it because this might be his worst play of the season, forever, literally. Either way, though, for the Colts, I said run the ball and compliment the defense. They didn't compliment the defense because when the defense had stops, they put up points. Kind of like that. Jonathan Taylor had a really good game, though. Carson Wentz had a rushing touchdown. Their offense wasn't really great considering, I'll give them a plus. They did put up 30 points in the rain against a good defense. Defensively, yeah, other than the first drive, they looked pretty good. They had 2 sacks, 2 picks. I'll give them a plus. They could have played better, but they didn't play bad. 49ers offense, like, I don't know what to say. Jimmy looked awful. 16 of 27, 181 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. The first drive, first couple passes was good, got in the rhythm, then he stunk it up. Elijah Mitchell, first drive was like 50 yards. Then other than that, like really just up and down. Their offense is gonna get a minus. Like I did get they put up 18 points. They just had too many turnovers. It wasn't looking good. Like Brandon Ayuk had 1 catch. I don't know what you're doing, but he is your best receiver. When he is a better receiver than D.O.N.E. I will say that right now. Well, never mind. He's more talented than D.O.N.E. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, the defense got a sack. They weren't very good. I'll give them an underscore, though, because they did make some big plays. They just weren't taking advantage of opportunities. They were putting themselves in the right spot. So they'll get an underscore for at least doing that. Either way, like and subscribe. That's the end of the week 7 recap. We got Monday Night Football recap, and then we got the power rankings and week 8 coming up. Either way, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoy. Chiefs laid an egg. Eagles lost. Yeah, that's all I'm really to say. Either way, like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed.